Ralph Ellison's life comes close to spanning the 20th century. Though as the years go by, he casts a glance back to the Civil War and Reconstruction of the 19th century and ahead to the fast-approaching digital age of the 21st. Born in 1913, about 5.5 years after Oklahoma was admitted to the Union, he lost his father, a protective companion, at the age of 3. Raised by his mother Ida with rigorous love, Ellison grew up in the mostly nurturing, close black community of the vibrant Deep Deuce section of Oklahoma City during the Jim Crow era. His story is an African-American variation of the American dream. Long after leaving Oklahoma City, this young man from the provinces, who became a sophisticated man of the world, remembers when I lay on a pallet in the moon-drenched kitchen door and listened and dreamed of the time when I would leave and see the world. Letter to Albert Murray, July 24, 1953. Written over 6 decades, Ellison's letters range from boyhood notes to his mother to detailed exchanges and sometimes trenchant sparring matches over ideas with some of the most distinguished figures of American intellectual and literary life: Richard Wright, Kenneth Burke, Stanley Edgar Hyman, Albert Murray, Saul Bellow, Romare Bearden, Robert Penn Warren, Richard Wilbur, Harold Bloom, Hugh Kenner. Equally important, and perhaps sometimes more so, for what they reveal about his private self and boyhood experience, are letters to old friends and relations from Oklahoma City, that frontier dream world of his childhood to which Ellison returned with increasing frequency. Virgil Branham, Jimmy Stewart, Camille and Mamie Roan, Charles Edick Tucker, Hester Holloway, HBO Hooley Davis. Perhaps sensing that he might not live to write a formal autobiography, in the last years of his life, Ellison wrote more and more letters that record memories of the people, places, and events of his early years in Oklahoma, and what that experience continued to mean in his life and work. Between March 1933 and June 1993, Ellison wrote letters to an expanding and expansive company of individuals. Even in the parochial Dear Mama letters he writes from Tuskegee, we see glimmers of the defiant, lyrical mind, whose observations discern fluid changes in American life, society, and personality over the next 60 years. In fact, personality fascinated Ellison so completely that he dared assume the stance of bystander as well as participant, a dual perspective that infuses some of the letters with a feel of both biography and autobiography. Consider 2 letters, each from the rich trove of the 1950s, that stake out Ellison's quest as a person, citizen, and writer. After hearing a radio bulletin announced the 1954 Brown versus Board of Education decision, Ellison is wet-eyed as he reflects on what is ahead now that integration is the law of the land. Well, so now the judges have found, and Negroes must be individuals. He ends this remarkable letter, anyway, here's to integration, the only integration that counts, that of the personality. A profound toast, hailing individual personal integration. Letter to Mortiza Sprague, May 19, 1954. For Ellison, the Supreme Court's ruling goes hand in hand with the challenge faced by each citizen, each person, to create an integrated self, an arduous task that decade by decade threads its way through his letters.